Number 20, Dennis Burke. And here's the sophomore, just had a super game last night, number 34, Clyde Bianchi. Number 21, a sophomore, Sean Jessup, and number 33 is Clyde's older brother, John, and that's John Bianchi. The starting lineup for the Byron Bergen Bees. To mention the Byron Bergen with brothers John and Clyde Bianchi, as well as Dennis and Brian Burke. Dennis, the starter, Brian will come off the bench for him. And here's the Irish's starting lineup. Rick Tom, number 10, the guard. Number 32 is Chris Shunk. Number 22, Bob Ray. Number 42 is John McCauley. And number 54, the big center for Notre Dame, who had 29 points in last night's first game against Akron. Really up for this one now, Dave.
Well, Rick, it's going to be a shouting match early to see what school can outshout the other. And then they'll calm down, let the basketball players do the rest.
The Byron Bergen bench on their feet, giving the starters a little bit of a boost. And we're underway as Bianchi wins the tap and gives it to Noel Garza. Garza goes cross court to John Bianchi in the corner. Comes back out to Garza. Notre Dame in their zone, as Coach Mike Rapone told us earlier. Here's Bianchi to his brother. Cross-court pass out of bounds, and Notre Dame forces a turnover.
There's that 1-2-2 zone, and they're going to make Byron Bergen shoot that outside shot early. And if John Bianchi is not able to hit outside, Notre Dame's going to be in that zone all night.
So Chris Shunk brings it up for Notre Dame. Gives it off to McCauley. McCauley gives it back to Shunk. Shunk over to Tom. Tom's going to set it up for Notre Dame. Gives it to Ray in the corner. Ray dribbles, gives it back to Tom. Cross-court to McCauley. McCauley pulls up, gives it back out on top to Shunk.
Byron Bergen playing a diamond on one right now on Jim Purcell.
Ray hits the shot from the corner, and Notre Dame gets the lead at 2-0. So Garza quickly back up the floor for Byron Bergen. Goes on the right side to Burke. That's Dennis Burke, number 20. To Jessup, the sophomore, in the corner. To Bianchi, back on top to Garza. Garza going to his left, tries to get it inside, but it's knocked away by Purcell. Purcell and Burke battle for it on the floor. Bob Ray jumps in, and we're going to have a jump ball.
Good hustle by the big man that time. Jim Purcell knocked the ball away, got on the floor after it, and Bob Ray come in to tie him up for jump ball.
So Bob Ray and Dennis Burke tapping the whistle. That's a violation against Byron Bergen. So Notre Dame will get possession.
You watch this Byron Bergen defense now. They've got a little zone press on, but they're diamond in one. Jim Purcell down underneath. Well, that means they're having a guy in front of them all the time. So Notre Dame's going to have to hit that shot from outside also.
So here's Tom on the right side. Gives it to Ray again in the corner, and Ray hits again. Bob Ray has hit his first two shots and given Notre Dame a quick 4-0 lead.
You know, Bob Ray's the leading scorer for Notre Dame right now with 15 points per game. If he can start shooting outside, it could be a long night for Byron Bergen.
Burke tries to go up the shot. It's no good. Rebound by John Bianchi, but stolen away by Bob Ray. Gives it quickly to Tom, hurrying up the court, trying to get inside. Let's go the shot. It's a little bit short and rebounded by John Bianchi, who gives it to Garza.
Rick Tom got a little bit under control there. He tried to look for the pass, pulled up, and just didn't have his balance.
Game like this, the adrenaline's flowing a little bit at the beginning. It'll take a couple minutes.
Rick, I even have the chills going up and down my spine right now. I wish I had the uniform on out there.
Quite a difference, Dave, from the end of last game to the beginning of this game, how you can just feel the emotion of the whole place. It's just picked up, and we're in for a good one.
The intensity. I'm sure these kids were biting their nails all night waiting for this one.
So Byron Bergen will have the basketball. John Bianchi inbounds it to his brother Clyde, who comes back out top to Burke. Burke trying to set it up. Notre Dame in their zone. Gives it over to Garza on the right side, who drops it to the corner to Jessup. Back out on top to Burke. Gives it over to John Bianchi on the left side. Here's Bianchi cross court to Clyde Bianchi. Inside to Jessup. Jessup tries with a move, but they're going to call him for a travel.
That's the inexperience there, Rick. You got a sophomore in there, and you got the ball inside, and Notre Dame had just a little bit too much height, and he shuffled his feet.
So Sean Jessup trying to get inside, shuffle with his feet a little bit, And Notre Dame on top, 4-0. 5.5 minutes left. First quarter, championship game of the Batavia Lions Club Holiday Tournament. Here's Shunk with his shot, comes up short. Rebounded outside by Rick Tom, trying to go inside, dumps it off to McCauley, and McCauley hits the shot.
Notre Dame's getting their shot that they want right now, Rick. They're moving the ball well, and they're getting them 10 to 12-foot jump shots.
So here's Jessup, gives it over to Burke, goes across to the other corner to John Bianchi with his 17-footer, short off the rim, rebounded by Jim Purcell, who gives it to Rick Tom.
Notre Dame looking around a little bit, now Rick Tom slows it up.
Rick Tom behind his back, being pressured by Garza, gives it to Ray in the corner. Comes back out to Shunk. Shunk hurries after it before it goes out of bounds and comes back with it and gives it over to Tom. Tom to Ray in the corner. Ray wants a shot. He's hit his first two. Here's Tom quickly to Shunk. Shunk with the 15-footer. Good!
We're going to see a timeout here by size shot that they've been taking, and they got that early 8-point lead, but Stan Schuett took a wise timeout there to slow things down, and I'm sure they're going to try and get an easy bucket here.
So Byron Bergen hoping to put one in to break the goose egg that they have on the scoreboard. Here's Garza. He's going to pull up, 15-footer to Burke. Burke trying to come inside and a whistle, and they're going to call Dennis Burke on the travel.
Dennis Burke has got little butterflies right now. He's only a sophomore, and Notre Dame has 5 seniors on the floor. That makes a big difference, Rick.
Okay, no, Dennis Burke is the senior, Sean Jessup and Clyde Bianchi the sophomores. So Notre Dame on top, 8-0. Here's Shunk. He has it tipped away by Burke, and then Garza tipped it out of bounds. Tom inbounds the ball to Shunk. Shunk being pressured by Burke, goes to his right to Ray. Ray puts it to the floor, gives it to Tom. Tom's going to take the 16-footer, and he's going to get it. 10-0 Notre Dame.
Excellent ball movement by Notre Dame that time, Rick. They're looking for the open man, and they're hitting him.
Here's Jessup inside. Shots off the rim, no good. Batted away by Purcell and out of bounds, and Byron Bergen will retain possession of the basketball. Dave, has this start surprised you?
Yes, it does, Rick. I thought it would be much, much closer early, and I'm surprised at the score.
Here's Clyde Bianchi with his first drive inside, but it doesn't go down for him, and John McCauley comes up with the rebound. Gives it off to Shunk on the left side. Shunk being pressured by Garza, has to hurry. Running out of time on the 10 seconds. Tries to hurry it. John Bianchi steals it over to Garza. Garza with the basket. Good pressure by Byron Bergen on that play.
Defense. Chris Shunk picked up his dribble at the wrong time, and no one was open for Notre Dame.
So here's Ray going to take the 17-footer. Bob Ray again. Bob Ray with a 6-point early in this first quarter.
Bob Ray's got the hot hand right now, and he feels the rhythm, and he's going with it.
Clyde Bianchi inside against Purcell. Doesn't get the basket, but he draws the foul. And Clyde Bianchi is uncanny the way he can get inside and draw those fouls.
Well, that's what Notre Dame's going to have to do. They're going to have to get the ball in. I mean, Byron Bergen has to do is get the ball in and try and force Notre Dame to commit some fouls and get Jim Purcell in foul trouble.
So Clyde Bianchi was stepped to the foul line with a chance to shoot two. Byron Bergen down by 10, 12-2, but there's still 3 minutes and 2 seconds left in this first quarter. Bianchi's first shot rolls around the rim and falls, and Clyde Bianchi has his first point on the night.
You can see he's a little nervous the way that shot hit the rim. This one will go nothing but net.
And you called that one as Bianchi pushes that one through. It's now 12-4 Notre Dame on top.
How can you help but not be nervous, Rick? Look at the crowd here.
Big crowd. It's incredible. It's good to see the support of this tournament. Byron Bergen in their press. Notre Dame breaks it. Here's McCauley, gives it to Shunk, who hands it to Tom. They're going to let the quarterback run the offense here. Being pressured by Garza. Tom to his right, comes back out. Behind the back, gets around Garza, trying to get inside. They're going to call Garza on a slap.
Byron Bergen cannot afford to lose Noel Garza. He is their quarterback. He's the leader. He's the one that makes this ball club go. There's no way Noel Garza can get in foul trouble, Rick.
So Tom with the quickness got a step on Garza, and Garza tried to slap the ball away, but caught Rick Tom on the arm. Here's Ray, a little trouble in the corner with it, but gives it out to Tom. Here's Purcell inside with the basket. There's Tom again hitting Purcell. And a whistle, and they're going to get Chris Shunk on the block as he tried to come up on Noel Garza. But he knocked Garza to the floor, and they whistled Shunk with the foul.
He came up fast that time, Rick. Got in a little bit too close, but Noel turned around. Chris got called for the block.
14-4 Notre Dame up by 10. 2 minutes and 20 seconds left in this first quarter. Garza gives it to John Bianchi. Back to Garza, to Burke, and back to Garza. He thinks about the shot, gets Ray up. Now he takes a shot and hits it. Garza with his 4th point.
Nice bucket that time by Noel Garza.
Garza trying to pressure Tom. Tom goes behind the back to his left. Gives it to Ray. Ray with Clyde Bianchi on him. Gives it to Shunk. Slips to the floor. No travel call. Here's Ray trying to get it inside off the backboard, but Ray hustles after and gets it. And gives it over to Shunk. Ray, a real scrapper for this Notre Dame Irish team. Here's the ball tipped out of bounds by Garza, but they're going to say that it went off of Rick Tom's leg.
That Noel Garza's all over the floor right now. He's scoring. He's playing defense. He's making things happen for him. That's their quarterback out there.
So Byron Bergen only down by 8 now. It's 14-6. As Garza hit a shot the last time down the floor. Here's Clyde Bianchi inside. No good. Rebound Tom. He took it to Purcell, but couldn't get it to fall for him. Last night, everything fell. Tonight, he's having a couple of trouble on those early shots. Purcell at the foul line to Ray in the corner. Back out to Tom. Tom trying to set the offense. Gives it to Ray again in the corner. Ray to Tom from 13. Inside. Shot off the glass. Out of the rim. Rebounded by John Bianchi. Quickly out to Burke. Burke coming down the right side, being pressured by Ray. Cross court to Garza, tipped out of bounds by Jim Purcell.
Good hustle by Jim Purcell that time. He came the length of the floor to come back and knock the ball out of bounds.
John Bianchi will inbound the ball for Byron Bergen. He gives it to his brother Clyde. Back to John, back to Clyde. Clyde with the 15-footer. Good.
He's picking right up where he left off last night, Rick. He's got the hot-handed for him right now.
So Clyde Bianchi with his 4th point. And here's a pass out of bounds off of Chris Shunk's hand. Notre Dame coach Mike Rapone telling his team, slow it down a little bit, let's calm down. Byron Bergen has cut this lead to 6 points, 14-8. 40 seconds left in the first quarter. Here's Garza again. Gives over to Burke, stolen by Tom. Passes a little inside of Burke. Tom over to Ray, going to the basket. Good! Nice play, Tom and Ray.
Good passing time by Rick Tom. He gave the ball up enough time to let Bob Ray make his move, and I believe that's Bobby Ray's 8th point in the first quarter.
Clock down to 15 seconds. Byron Bergen looking for one. Garza gives it to Burke. Back to Garza. Over to John Bianchi. Almost hit by Rick Tom. Shot by John Bianchi's no good. And Jim Purcell picks it up with 5 seconds. Clock's down to 2. Here's Tom. Let go with the shot. It's up off the rim and no good. And the score at the end of the first quarter of play is the Notre Dame Irish 16. John McCulley going to be jumping center against John Bianchi for Byron Bergen. So Byron Bergen started a little slow, Dave, but got back into the game, and they're only down by 8 points.
Well, their game is defense, and they're never going to be out of a game because they're just going to keep pressuring for 32 minutes.
Last night they got down to Batavia by about 5 points in the third quarter, and then all of a sudden shot past them. Like you said, they're not going to be out of it the whole night, that's for sure.
Well, they got the guts and determination. They know what it takes to win.
Here's Garza with the 17-footer. Little past his range, and it's out of bounds off of Sean Jessup's hand.
I think Coach Stan Shore is going to have to get John Bianchi in a different spot on the floor. He's lining up on the left side. I don't even remember him taking a shot yet in the game.
Byron Bergen with that man-to-man pressure. Garza's got Rick Tom. Here's McCulley from the corner, and McCulley gets the shot. Last night, I didn't think John McCulley seemed to have the ball too much, and boy, he could be deadly with that shot.
Notre Dame's hitting their outside shots right now. That could be trouble for Notre Dame.
Here, Bianchi with the turnaround, he does get it.
You notice that time down the floor, he posted up on Jim Purcell and got the ball within 10 to 12 feet of the basket. That's his spot.
18-10, Irish on top. Rick Tom gives it to McCulley. Inside to Purcell, tapped out of bounds by John Bianchi.
I think it's a good substitute right now at this point in the game. Giving Purcell a rest and bringing in John Borelli. 7 minutes to go. We don't want to get any foul trouble.
Here's Shunk, pressured by Garza, double pumped and got the shot off. Jessup and McCulley battle for it, and they're going to have to jump it up. Now coming into the game for Notre Dame will be John Starkweather, and he'll give Chris Shunk a breather.
Comes that Notre Dame bench. He's already got 2 starters rested, and we're only in the second quarter.
If you're unfamiliar with the Notre Dame team, they are about 8 or 9 strong, very deep bench, and it will definitely come in handy. Here's a steal by John Bianchi. being pressured by Ray. Ray comes up and taps the ball out of bounds. But Ray got back to stop the fast break.
And Bob Ray not only scoring, he's been all over the floor in defense. He's just hustling all over the court.
Clyde Bianchi going to inbound the ball. Gives it to Jessup, who comes back out to Burke. Almost went over Burke's outstretched hands, but he picked it up and gives it back to Clyde Bianchi in the corner. Here's Burke with the 18-footer. Gets it. 6-point Notre Dame lead, 18-12, with 6.5 left in the second quarter.
And that's a big bucket for him. If I remember last night, he was 0 for 9 from the field, so getting his first shot down is very important for him.
Starkweather being pressured by Burke, gives it off to Borelli, who comes back on top to Tom. Tom to Ray. Ray with that jumper from the corner, comes up short this time. Bianchi goes up and gets the rebound and outlets to Garza. Quickly to Burke. Here's a shot, hit by Starkweather, out of bounds. Big play by John Starkweather as he knocked the shot out of bounds. And coming into the game now for Byron Bergen will be Dennis Burke's brother, Brian Burke. Brian Burke in for Sean Jessup. So here's Dennis Burke out to Garza. 6 minutes left.
Byron Bergen was going to stay out and try and slow it down, but they're behind, so they have to force the issue here.
Right, Notre Dame just soon have him sit back there in the fourth corner and stall it. They're up by 6. Here's Burke's shot from the corner, and Dennis Burke puts it in to pull Byron Bergen within 4. Tom being pressured by Garza, slips down, and they're going to say that Rick Tom stepped out of bounds, and Byron Bergen is going to get the basketball back.
That's a good matchup right there. Garza and Tom, they're just going nose to nose on each other. And that time Garza won, but Rick Tom will show his talent soon.
So Garza gives it to Dennis Burke, who gives it back to Garza, back to Dennis Burke. Puts it to the floor, to the basket, good! The Beast are within 2, and Mike Rapone wants to slow it down. He's going to clear.
Byron Bergen team is, who knows who's going to do it one night to the next. Tonight it's Dennis Burke. Last night it was Clyde Bianchi. They just pick each other up, and Notre Dame's going to have a tough task now with Dennis Burke having a hot hand.
Notre Dame got out to a quick 12-point lead, but Byron Bergen has chipped away, and they've chipped it all the way down to a 2-point Notre Dame lead. So here's Tom. He's being covered now by Brian Burke. Tom goes inside, drops it to Starkweather, off the glass, good. Nice play, John Starkweather from Rick Tom.
Rick Tom's penetration set that up, Rick. He's penetrated, dumped the ball off to Starkweather for easy layup.
Garza slowing it down, setting up his offense.
Notre Dame's got to get a little more active in this zone.
Clyde Bianchi in the corner, back to Garza, to Burke, to his brother Dennis, and back to Brian. Dennis Burke from the corner, good! 2-point Notre Dame lead.
I think after that 0 for 9 last night, he went home and did some shooting. He's got the touch tonight, though.
Well, he's not going to go 0 for 9 2 nights in a row, that's for sure, and he's out shooting. Here's Starkweather. Over to Ray. Ray to his right. Gives it cross court to McCulley with the jumper. That's good.
Both teams, it's going to be a shootout right now. Rick, it's a shootout.
Feels like a boxing match. Both teams are standing toe-to-toe, just slugging it out now, Dave. Here's Burke again, good. Dennis Burke from the corner again. It's 22-20 Notre Dame. John Borelli off the bench. He's going to go in for Bob Ray and give Bob Ray a rest.
That also brings in more size for Notre Dame. And we're going to look to see what Mike Rapone does to stop this Dennis Burke. That's Noah Garza's second foul.
Foul on Garza. Notre Dame was trying to inbound the ball. They caught Garza sticking out and grabbing one of the Notre Dame players. So here's Starkweather being pressured by Brian Burke. Gets over the timeline, but loses the ball out of bounds. So Byron Bergen is going to get the ball back with a chance to tie this game up at 22-22 if they can hit this basket.
That pressure right now is getting to Notre Dame.
Notre Dame looks so smooth in the beginning. Now they're a little bit shaky. And Byron Bergen has switched to roll. It's Garza takes a shot. No good. Rebound, McCulley. Bianchi almost got his hand on it, but John McCulley stayed with it and pulled it down. And here's Starkweather. Gives it to Tom. Tom trying to drive inside. He's hit by John Bianchi. Rick Tom will go to the foul line to shoot 2.
Nice move that time by Rick Tom. He had the baseline. Instead of going straight up, he came back in, and John Bianchi got over the top, and he's got 2 shots to fall on.
3 minutes and 35 seconds left the second quarter. Fast-paced game. Both teams up and down the floor. Notre Dame on top by 2, and now 3. So Rick Tom will get 1 more and try to increase Notre Dame's lead to 4 points. His second shot's up, and that's good. So Notre Dame stretches its lead out by 2 more points, 24-20. 3.5 minutes left, second quarter. Garza gives it off to Dennis Burke, back to Garza, over to Brian Burke.
It looks like Notre Dame is content to give Dennis Burke that shot. They're gambling.
And John Bianchi from the corner hits again to pull the Bees to within 2.
Well, we knew John Bianchi couldn't stay quiet all night.
Borelli in the corner trying to go to McCauley. Purcell comes up with it. It was bounced around inside. Here's Ray trying to get down to the middle. Good pressure by Garza to Starkweather with a nice pass. Inside to Purcell. Starkweather looked like Tom with that quick pass inside.
Nice pass, and Purcell used the glass just perfectly that time.
Here's Clyde Bianchi inside, and he hits the basket. It's incredible how Clyde Bianchi at 6 foot or maybe just a bit under can get inside time after time. Starkweather being pressured, loses to Garza. Garza fouled by Starkweather underneath.
I don't understand this, Rick. I don't know why Rick Tom is not bringing the ball up. He's their quarterback, and now they're turning the ball over to John Starkweather, who is a good ball handler. But Rick Tom is the quarterback out there.
So Noel Garza will go to the free throw line with a chance to tie this game up. He's going to be shooting 2 as he was fouled as he was driving to the basket. Tried to get the shot off, and he was hit. And here's Garza's first shot that won't go in.
That Garza, how much more can a coach ask for out of him? He just hustles, he handles the ball, he sets the plays up. He's just a remarkable player out there for Byron Bergen.
Garza's second shot goes in, and it's a 1-point ball game. Notre Dame on top, 26-25, 2.5 left, first half. Shunk being pressured by Burke. It's Brian Burke, number 24, and he almost steals, and he does come over the steal. Gives it to Dennis Burke, and Dennis Burke is fouled by Rick Tom.
That's Rick Tom's second foul.
Quite a turnaround from the start of this game. Notre Dame came out, could not miss a shot. Byron Bergen looked like they were a little tentative, and then all of a sudden Byron Bergen turned it around, and now it's the other way around.
Wow, that pressure defense by Byron Bergen has Notre Dame baffled right now, and they've come unraveled a little bit in those turnovers. They're in the 1-and-1, and they got an opportunity to take the lead here.
So it'll be Dennis Burke for the Byron Bergen Bees at the free throw line. Shots up, off the front of the rim, no good. Purcell with the rebound underneath, and they're going to call Garza. Little mismatch there. Garza at 5'8", Purcell at 6'5".
That's a big play right there, Rick. Garza with his third personal with 2 minutes and 16 seconds to go in the second quarter, and he's their quarterback out there. They can't afford to lose him.
So that's going to bring Sean Jessup back into the game. Here's Tom to Shunk. Shunk with a 15-footer, good. Notre Dame opens it up 28-25. And now one thing, Dave, with Garza off the bench, it's going to give Tom a little more room to move.
Very definitely, and I thought maybe Notre Dame would come with a little press right there with Garza out, because he is their main ball handler.
John Bianchi comes up short. McCauley goes up for the rebound. Outlet to Shunk, who gives it back to Tom. See if Notre Dame can swing that old mole a little more than away now. Gives it to Borelli. Borelli right back to Tom. Borelli cuts through and goes down low. Here's Tom spinning to the basket, switches to the left hand, and they're going to call a charge.
That's Rick Tom's third personal. Player control.
So Rick Tom being called for the charge, and that's going to get John Starkweather into the game immediately for Rick Tom. And Byron Bergen into the bonus situation.
No sooner did Notre Dame get a little advantage, their quarterback picks up his third personal foul. You got both leaders on the floor on the bench with 3 personals.
So Noel Garza for Byron Bergen and Rick Tom for Notre Dame, both on the bench, both with 3 personal fouls. Sean Jessup at the line for Byron Bergen. His first shot's up, hits the front of the rim, and goes right to John McCulley.
Must have got a little bit of that rim because it didn't hit the rim, they've been taken out of bounds.
Barely touched the front of the rim. Here's Shunk inside trying to have a help with a pick by Purcell, but he's blocked off, and Starkweather has it back on top. Gives it to Shunk on the right side, tries to give it into Purcell with a head fake, puts it to the floor, and has Burke all over him, but he gets the ball and gets it off the glass and in.
Nice touch for a big man.
Little mistake by Purcell. He had the shot inside, but he put it down to the floor, and he allowed Byron Bergen player to get his hand inside on him, but he got it back with that strength of his and hit the basket. 45 seconds left. Notre Dame back on top by 5 now. As Brian Burke hits the basket and pull Byron Bergen within 3. 35 seconds left. Shunk quickly up the right side, being pressured by Brian Burke.
One thing about Notre Dame, they're loaded with guards. They got good ball handlers on the bench.
Here's Purcell inside again. Ball hit by Burke. Purcell gets the shot off, and he goes down. He's hurt. Purcell twisted an ankle on the way down, and he's favoring that right ankle. Purcell trying to walk it off now, and if you've ever come down on somebody else's foot, that is a very painful injury.
Very definitely. Coach Rapone's taking him out. The only thing they can do right now is tighten that sneaker up, put a little ice on it. He's a big, tough kid. I'm sure he'll be back. That foul was on Sean Jessup. That's also his 3rd personal.
Borelli hits the first of his 2 foul shots. Puts Notre Dame back up by 4, 31-27. There's only 20 seconds left in the second quarter. Borelli's second one short off the rim. Borelli hustles after his own rebound. Tries to go inside, and they're going to call him on a travel. Borelli hustled after his own rebound. Tried to go inside and got a little tangled up inside. They're going to nail John Borelli on a travel.
Byron Bergen play for 1 shot here. They just soon go down by 2 at halftime.
10 seconds left in the clock. Clyde Bianchi just letting the clock run down, gives it to Jessup. Here's Burke from 17, good! 2 seconds left on the clock, 1. All right, all in the second quarter now for Dennis Burke. Yes, he has 12 points, all of them coming in the second quarter. Dennis Burke finding the range for Byron Bergen, and he came up with a hot hand as he came up with 12 points in the second quarter. John McCulley for Notre Dame against John Bianchi. Bianchi wins the tap, gives it to his brother Clyde. Clyde quickly down the right side, being guarded by Tom, gets it back out to Burke, who gives it back to Garza on top.
Notre Dame in that 1-2-2 zone defense that they've been in all night long.
Here's Burke, cross court to his brother, Dennis Burke, back out to Garza.
Both teams back with their 5 starters.
John Bianchi comes up a little bit short, and John McCulley goes for the rebound. Gives it to Tom. Tom behind his back, being pressured by Brian Burke. Brian Burke now in there for Sean Jessup, but Jessup is on the bench. Here's Shunk in the corner, almost stolen by Clyde Bianchi. Goes off of Ray's knee. Ray picks it up. Comes up to Shunk. Few of the fans howling for an over and back, but no whistle. Shunk brings it back up to the top of the key, being covered by Garza. Gives it to Tom. Tom trying to get inside, loses it to Clyde Bianchi, who scoops it to Garza. Garza coming down, gives it off to Burke. Burke pulls up with a left-handed shot, hits it. We're tied at 31-31.
Rick Tom tried to force the issue down to the other end. They didn't have no one where to go to the ball. Byron Bergen made another turnover, led to a Byron Bergen basket.
So here's Purcell. The ball thrown away and out of bounds, and another Notre Dame turnover. Rick Tom can't believe it. He's saying that the ball was tapped away, and the whole Notre Dame bench, Coach Mike Rapone, his brother Rick, and Notre Dame JV coach Blaine Penapeno up quickly. but they're not going to get the call, and Byron Bergen will have the basketball. We're tied at 31. Byron Bergen looking for their first lead. Here's Bianchi inside against Purcell with the head fake. Basket no good. Rebound Tom underneath. So Clyde Bianchi got inside, tried to get over Purcell, but the ball would not fall for him. And Notre Dame right back. Here's Ray pulling up from 17. Off the rim, no good. Purcell, good.
John Bianchi had to come out that time to guard against Bobby Ray and left Purcell underneath for an easy layup.
So Notre Dame back on top, 33-31. 6 minutes left, third quarter. Brian Burke gives it to Clyde Bianchi, back to Garza. Garza off to Dennis Burke, down to his brother. Try to get it inside to Bianchi. Ray hustling after it, knocks it out of bounds. Good hustle by Bob Ray.
He's all over the floor on defense.
Ray not afraid to go to the floor to try to pick up those loose basketballs.
Byron Bergen being very patient against his Notre Dame zone.
Here's John Bianchi trying to go inside, and he does.
I thought he might have shuffled his feet that time before he made his move.
Once again, we're tied at 33 now. Tom being pressured by Brian Burke. Gives it off to Shunk on the left side. Garza now covering Shunk. Shunk goes to the basket, loses it. John Bianchi comes away. Gives it off to Dennis Burke. Gives it off to Garza. Garza a little deep, pulls out, tries to give it over to Burke. Here's Burke inside, shot up, good! And the Byron Bergen Bees have their first lead of the night, 35-33. McCulley gives it to Tom.
This defense has really bothered Notre Dame.
Tom slowing it down a little bit, waiting to get set, gives it to Purcell with the turnaround, gives it off to Ray. Shot off good, McCulley, shot up, no good, rebound Purcell. Here's Ray with the ball, loses it up, out of bounds off of John Bianchi.
Good catch right there, Rick. Both teams bang on the board. Notre Dame and Byron Bergen really battling on those boards.
These two teams are standing toe-to-toe, and neither one is giving an inch. Here's Purcell inside with the shot, good! Jim Purcell got the shot off the glass, and he also was fouled on the play, and he's going to be shooting one.
That foul's on John Bianchi. It's only his second, but Notre Dame is going to the boards right now offensively.
Jim Purcell with a chance to put Notre Dame back on top. And Dave, I think we're going to see the whole game like this, back and forth.
It's all what it built up to be. We knew nobody's going to blow anybody out, and it's going to be right down to the wire.
And Purcell hits the free throw to give Notre Dame the 1-point lead, 36-35. Here's Garza to Brian Burke. Back to Garza on top. Garza being patient, looking for the opening. Gives it back to Burke, who gives it to John Bianchi in the corner. Bianchi back on top to Garza, over to Dennis Burke. Down to his brother Brian, and back to Dennis. Little game of catch now. Here's John Bianchi in the corner, wanted a shot. Gray with the hands again, knocks it out of bounds. Both teams with very quick players. You have to be careful trying to get the ball inside. There's some quick hands in there. And here's Garza again. Gives it over to Brian Burke, down to John Bianchi in the corner with Rick Tom on him.
What they're trying to do here, Rick, is they're trying to run an overload to get the ball back to Dennis Burke, who had the hot hand in the first half.
Cross court to Garza with the head fake. Tom doesn't go for it. Here's Burke from outside. Good. Byron Bergen on top, 37-36. Tom being pressured by Burke. Has trouble. Never got the ball over the timeline. Jump ball. Rick Tom not happy with that. He wanted to foul on Brian Burke.
And Brian Burke is playing some kind of defense on Rick Tom right now.
Burke was giving Tom all kinds of trouble. Tom couldn't get over the timeline, and then Burke tied him up. Here's the jump ball, controlled by Byron Bergen, Dennis Burke.
You may see Byron Bergen pull it out right now and draw Notre Dame out of that zone.
And just as you say that, Noel Garza backs it up. Byron Bergen with the 1-point lead. They're trying to beat Notre Dame up, and John McCulley comes up on John Bianchi. Bianchi around him. Nice tap, but the basket good by Brian Burke. McCulley made the nice tap around the back, but it went right to Brian Burke for the basket. Notre Dame, or Byron Bergen with their biggest lead of the night, now by 3.
Byron Bergen just playing phenomenal defense right now. They're all over the floor.
Here's Shunk, tries to give it to Tom, but it's knocked out of bounds by Brian Burke. 3 minutes and 4 seconds left in the third quarter. Byron Bergen with their biggest lead of the night. It's 3 points, 39-36. Purcell has the ball knocked out of his hands by Noel Garza. Byron Bergen really playing tight defense now, and the whole Byron Bergen bench is up on the floor clapping their hands, trying to get those starters on the floor going. Garza covering Shunk. Shunk gets it off to Tom.
That defense is textbook right.
Nice pass to McCulley, but McCulley missed a shot underneath.
They'll go to the four corners again. They'll be patient. They're going to draw Notre Dame out, make them make some mistakes.
Notre Dame wants to be careful now that Byron Bergen doesn't get up by too many points and play their four-corner offense on them.
Well, they're in it right now, and it's just a thing to slow it down, but they want Notre Dame to play man-to-man.
So here's Dennis Burke, way out by the half-court line. Bob Ray staying a couple feet in front of him. John Bianchi now being covered by McCulley. Bianchi trying to get past McCulley, pulls up, and now he does. Goes inside to Brian Burke, back out to Garza.
They may go for one shot here, Rick, with 2 minutes to go. That's the way they know Byron Bergen works it.
Just under 2 minutes, third quarter. Byron Bergen on top by 3. Here's John Bianchi. We have a whistle.
There's a 5-second call. Closely guarded player inside the midcourt line. John Bianchi didn't give the ball up. Good defense that time by Notre Dame.
So Notre Dame did what they had to do. Played the tight defense and got Byron Bergen in the 5-second violation, and they got the ball back now. Here's Tom trying to drive it inside, but he's cut off by Brian Burke. Now stolen by Brian Burke. Quickly to Garza, down to John Bianchi. Inside, knocked away by Purcell, and a foul. Purcell almost got the ball clean, but he caught John Bianchi as he fouled through, trying to slap the ball away.
Notre Dame's going to try and have to do something. All right now, Byron Bergen's got the momentum. They're going to have Notre Dame have to do something to change the pace of the game right now. It's all in Byron Bergen's favor. We got a lot of game left.
John Bianchi will go to the line. 1 minute and 35 seconds left in the third quarter. Bianchi be shooting 2 as he was fouled by Purcell underneath as he was trying to get the basket underneath. And Bianchi hits the first of his 2. Byron Bergen up by 4 now. Bianchi will try to make it 5, and he does. Important for Notre Dame now, Dave, to come down and get a basket right here.
They haven't had a shot off last 3 times on the floor. That defense, it's textbook right now. They're just playing it the way the coach teaches.
Ray from the corner gets it. Big basket for Bob Ray and Notre Dame. Pulls the Irish back to only being down by 3. Here's Garza slowing it down again. Clyde Bianchi. We haven't heard as much from Clyde tonight as we did last night. Burke with the fake, gives it to John Bianchi, back to Brian Burke. Gives it to his brother Dennis. And a travel. So Notre Dame with a chance to pull within 1, and Dave, maybe Byron Bergen had the momentum and everything going their way. Maybe slowing it down wasn't the answer, because now they're getting a little too careful. They made a couple turnovers here.
That's a good point there, Rick. Notre Dame still needs a basket right here.
McCulley inside was fouled by Dennis Burke. Sometimes when you get that flow going, you don't want to stop, and once you stop and lose it, it's hard to get it back, and we'll have to see us down this stretch here as we're coming in the corner. Gives it to Tom with a 14-footer, no good. Rebound by Purcell, good! Notre Dame back to within 1. 40 seconds left. Garza to Burke, inside to Clyde Bianchi, stolen by Ray, tries to give it to Purcell, stolen by Burke, but a foul on Brian Burke.
I'm sure Coach Stan Schuler didn't want that exchange with 40 seconds to go. I'm sure he wanted to play for 1. And now we go down the other end, and they're not in the bonus as of yet. Notre Dame gets the ball out of bounds.
33 seconds left, third quarter, 41-40. Byron Bergen on top of Notre Dame. Look for Notre Dame to come down for 1 shot at the end of the quarter to try to take the lead. Backcourt pressure by Byron Bergen, but McCulley gives it off to Shunk, and Shunk hurries it up over the timeline. Clock down to 20 seconds. Here's Tom looking for help, gives it to Shunk. Shunk pulls up back to Tom. Clock down to 13. Here's Ray in the corner, almost loses it, and he does as he steps right on the line in the corner.
Byron Bergen will play for one here with 9 seconds. They either go in up by 3 or stay at 1. Starting the fourth quarter.
So unless Notre Dame comes up with a steal, the teams will have the lead at the end of 3. Here's Bianchi's shot. No good rebound. Clyde Bianchi! Clyde Bianchi with the rebound and a big basket right before the buzzer. And at the end of 3 quarters, it's the Byron Bergen Bees 43, the Notre Dame. As Chris Shunk came down with Jim Purcell's tap. Here's Shunk trying to go to the middle, gives it to Ray in the corner. Here's Ray's shot off the rim, no good rebound. John Bianchi as Garza got in to tip it back to John Bianchi. Garza quickly down to Burke. Back to Garza over to John Bianchi. Burke's left-hand shot from the corner, no good. Kicked around underneath, and Garza comes up with it. Byron Bergen retains possession. Here's Clyde Bianchi with the big basket at the end of the half on the rebound. Brian Burke hits the 10-footer. 45-40, Byron Bergen. Byron Bergen has won this tournament both years, and they're looking to make it 3 straight. The 3rd annual Batavia Lions Club Holiday Basketball Tournament from the Genesee Community College Gym. Here's Tom trying to go inside. He does. Nice basket by Rick Tom.
Nice move that time by Rick Tom. He split the defense and laid it in off the glass.
So here's Garza. Garza going to his right. Gives it down inside to Brian Burke. Has trouble. Gives it off to his brother. Here's a shot off the rim and no good. But John McCulley being whistled for a foul. They got John McCulley underneath on the foul.
That was a good call there on the officials. John didn't get over it in time, and he caught Dennis Burke on the arm.
So Dennis Burke will go to the foul line. Trying to open up Byron Bergen's lead a little more, and he does, as it's now 4. Byron Bergen's biggest lead of the night was 5 points. Notre Dame got off to a good start. They were up by 12 early in the game, but Byron Bergen came right back. And now Byron Bergen back on top by 5 as the ball was almost stolen by Dennis Burke. Dennis Burke hustling after the pass. Had to hurdle the Byron Bergen bench. So he's all right.
That's what the game's all about, though, Rick. Determination, hustle. This Byron Bergen team, they can't be denied.
Here's McCulley. Here's the ball knocked away by John Bianchi. So Ray gets back quickly and Shunk comes up with it. Shunk quickly back down the other way. Pulls it up and gives it to Tom. Back and forth action. Here's Tom trying to look to get inside. Gives it to McCulley. McCulley to Shunk. Shunk will take the 17-footer and get it. Shunk deadly from that spot.
They need that, Rick, because right now they're shutting down Notre Dame's inside game. Byron Bergen's playing excellent defense on Purcell and McCulley.
So here's Garza. Gives it over to Clyde Bianchi. Over to Brian Burke, and he hits it.
Brian Burke is giving Byron Bergen a big lift. Both Burke brothers, big lift for Byron Bergen tonight.
So here's Rick Town. In the corner to Ray, trying to go to the basket. Has the ball knocked out of bounds.
Knocked out of bounds by John Bianchi.
So here's Purcell with the ball. Gives it over to Shunk. Shunk trying to get around Garza, almost stolen, but Ray comes up with it. Here's Ray to Shunk.
Just can't get that ball inside, Rick. They're trying to get it to Purcell, and they're just shutting him down.
Tom gives it over to Purcell. Notre Dame being patient. They need a basket. They're down by 5. McCulley stolen away by Brian Burke, or Dennis Burke. And Byron Bergen comes up with it once again.
Goes Byron Bergen, their four-corner offense again. They're going to make Notre Dame either foul or they're going to get a nice, easy 10-12 footer.
Notre Dame's going to have to come out And meet Byron Bergen now as the clock's down to 4 minutes and 50 seconds. Here's Burke trying to go inside, gives it off to his brother Brian, who gives it out to John Bianchi. Here's Dennis Burke. Byron Bergen spread out in their four corner. Dennis Burke trying to go to the basket, rejected by Purcell. And Tom quickly down, but stolen away by Brian Burke. Bianchi gives it off to Garza.
Notre Dame too much of a hurry that time. It caused another turnover. I'd like to see the turnover ratio right now.
Clock starting to play a factor on Notre Dame as it's down to 4 minutes and 10 seconds left, and Byron Bergen has the 5-point lead, and they're in their four-corner stall. Here's Garza trying to go inside, and they're going to get Rick Tom, and that's going to be Tom's fourth foul. So Garza has the ball for Byron Bergen. Gives it out to Burke. Back to Garza. Garza rolls it around to the other side. Starkweather into the game for Notre Dame for Shunk. Here's Dennis Burke. Being pressured by Shunk. Shunk still in the game. What they've done is taken Purcell out and put a quicker team on the floor now. And they're going to whistle him for a 5-second violation.
There's that defense by Notre Dame. They need a bucket this time down, Rick. They very definitely need a bucket to keep it close.
Notre Dame needing a basket as they're down by 5. The clock's down to 3.5 minutes. Tom looking for help. Gives it to Starkweather. Starkweather with a jumper off the rim. No good. John Bianchi rebounds. Here's Clyde Bianchi. Gives it out to Burke. Over to Garza. Garza over to Clyde Bianchi. Byron Bergen now being very patient. They have a 5-point lead with only 3 minutes left in the game. Burke inside to Garza with a turnaround. No good. McCulley with the rebound.
Big rebound on it right there. Notre Dame still hasn't cut into that lead. They need a bucket.
So John Starkweather gives it over to Shunk. He's going to take the 18-footer, and he gets it. Big basket by Chris Shunk to pull Notre Dame within 3, 49-46 with 2.5 minutes left. Mike Rapone wants his team to start putting some pressure on.
Yeah, they've got it. There's only 2.5 minutes to go, and they're down 3. They can't let Byron Bergen dictate what they want to do.
John Bianchi with a pass to Burke, stolen away by Ray. Ray coming down the right side, takes it to the basket and good! Nice shot by Bob Ray. Notre Dame within 1, 2 minutes, 13 seconds left, 49-40. Gives it back to Burke. Burke pressured by Tom, gives it to John Bianchi. Here's Garza, clock down to 2 minutes. Clyde Bianchi back on top to Dennis Burke. Dennis Burke to John Bianchi in the corner. Here's the shot by Bianchi, no good, rebound by Ray. Bob Ray with the rebound.
Deficit. Definitely worked for him. Could be a steal.
So here's a pass inside, stolen by John Bianchi. A minute and a half left. Garza being pressured by Starkweather. Gives it off on the right-hand side to Burke, trying to get around Shunk. Gives it over to John Bianchi. Here's Bianchi trying to get around McCulley. Gives it back out to Dennis Burke. Being covered by Shunk. Starkweather went after it, but Garza came up with it. Garza going toward the middle, right back out to Dennis Burke. Clock down to 57 seconds. And they're going to call John Starkweather, or Chris Shunk, that is, on a block. Good try by Shunk. As the clock was winding down, he tried to draw a charge. If he gets it, good. But if he doesn't, at least he's going to start the clock and make Bianchi go to the foul line and see what he can do.
56 seconds. A lot of time left. Really, there's a lot of time.
40 right now for the Bees. And they get it to John Bianchi. Bianchi has trouble with it. And it's Byron Bergen's ball. And I'll tell you what, the Notre Dame bench is not happy with that call. They were up quickly. They thought that he lost it out of bounds. But Byron Bergen with the basketball. Garza being pressured by Tom. Brings it back out. Here's Burke. Clock down to 45 seconds. Byron Bergen up 49-48. Burke with Shunk all over him. Helped by McCulley. McCulley with the foul. That now will put Byron Bergen into the bonus. So Today we've been talking the last 2 nights about how important these 1-and-1 bonus situations are. And this is a perfect point right now because Byron Bergen has a 1-point lead. And Dennis Burke will go to the line. And if he can put these two down, it opens it up to 3.
It's right down to the wire. We knew it was going to be a foul shot or a shot at the buzzer. And this is where it is right now.
First shot's up and good. Big free throw by Dennis Burke. He's going to get one more now. If he can put this one down, it'll open it up to a 3-point lead. If he can't, Notre Dame can get the rebound and tie this game. Second one's up off the rim. No good. Clyde Bianchi comes up with it.
That's what I talked about, Rick. They needed that rebound on that ball.
Notre Dame had a mix-up underneath as 2 Notre Dame players had the ball and lost it. Here's Bianchi. Bad shot by Bianchi, and Ray with the rebound. Bad shot selection by John Bianchi, and Stan Sherwood cannot be happy with that.
No, because that sends Notre Dame down the other end with a chance. No, Notre Dame not in the bonus either yet. I got to get my game together here, Rick.
50-48. Byron Bergen on top. Stan Sherwood is up. Here goes Tom, being pressured by Burke. Tom behind the back, clock down to 18. Here's Shunk. Garza on Shunk, gives it off to Ray. Ray goes to the right side with Clyde Bianchi.
Here's
Tom inside, and a foul. A foul on number 24, Brian Burke.
Here comes Purcell. They got to have the board, Rick.
All right, Purcell's in now in case that Tom misses the foul shot. Purcell will be there for the rebound. 10 seconds left in the game. Rick Tom going to the free throw line.
If Notre Dame ties it up, I look at Byron Bergen, get it past half court, and call a timeout to set up the last play. We'll see what happens.
Here's Tom now at the foul line. Here's the shot up. No good. Rebound underneath by Bianchi. Out to Garza. Over to Burke. Down to 5. Foul by Tom. Coach Mike Rapone upset. He's talking to the officials now.
We talked about it, Rick. That foul line is so important. And usually Rick Tom is Mr. Reliable, but with the crowd screaming, this is something you don't get every day in high school.
In the third period, Buffalo on top of Winnipeg 4-0. Rick Tom with a pressure situation stepped up to the free throw line with a chance to tie the game up. He missed the front end of a 1-and-1. And Byron Bergen came away with the ball. Tom committed his 5th foul. He's out of the game. Here's Burke, and that will just about ice the game for Byron Bergen as Dennis Burke steps up to the line and calmly puts it down.
I think Stan Sherwood's pretty excited right now.
What an incredible game we've had here. We knew we'd have a good one, and we did. Second one's good. Purcell inbounds it to Starkweather. Starkweather at the buzzer. Off the glass, no good. And that's the end of the ball game. The Byron Bergen Bees, for the 3rd consecutive years, have won this Batavia Lions Club Holiday Basketball Tournament. It's the type of the game, Dave, where you hate to see either of the teams lose.
Well, it was right down to the wire. Notre Dame could have tied it. Unfortunately for Rick Tom, he didn't come through with the foul shots. But it was everything it was built up to be. Right down to the wire, 52-48. What more can you ask from 2 high school basketball teams? And this crowd, they're still standing here. They can't believe it, what a game it was.
Rick Tom went to the line. High pressure situation. The shot was a little strong off the rim. There was a scramble underneath, and Mike Rapone wanted a foul as he thought Jim Purcell had his arm hit, but no foul. And Byron Bergen came back, and Dennis Burke hit 2 clutch free throws to finish the game off. So Byron Bergen defeats Notre Dame by 4 points in just a fantastic final game here.
And that goes to Batavia High. Middle for Sam Simpson. Now the
We're back down at courtside now, so giving out the awards for this Lions Club Holiday Tournament. They've just given Kevin Stimson, the head coach of the Batavia Blue Devils, the third place trophy. And now they're presenting the runner-up trophy to the Notre Dame Irish. Rick Tom and John McCulley come out to accept the trophy for Notre Dame.
And now the championship trophy.
And now they're going to present the Byron Bergen Bees with the championship trophy for the third consecutive year. The whole Byron Bergen team is out there to get it with their fingers up in the air. And they're going to go over and show the fans that they had the trophy once again.
That's what it's all about, Rick, right there. That's high school basketball at its best. Not only the captain or one player, the whole team, and they're showing that they're fans, that they appreciate what they do for them.
Byron Bergen defeating Notre Dame 52-48, and they just received their championship trophy. Notre Dame got out on top early in this one, Dave, but Byron Bergen came back, opened up a few 5 points lead of their own. Notre Dame came back, but they held on. And now they're announcing the all-tournament team. And for Byron Bergen,
from Akron,
John
Ryan
Bianchi just received his
Surinsky.
trophy.
Ryan is here. He may come down and get his all-tournament team. From Akron,
And from
Ryan
Akron,
Surinsky.
Ryan Sininsky's going to go up to get his. He had a good tournament for the Akron Tigers, Dave.
Yes, he did. All-around hustle, good shooting.
Notre Dame.
Rick, just a nice job by Ryan Surinsky.
And here's Rick Tom. Tom was in a pressure situation. They could have tied the game for Notre Dame, but his foul shot came off the rim. Notre Dame could come up with the rebound.
Darryl Holloway.
And from the Batavia Blue Devils, Darryl Holloway, the sophomore. And a good tournament for Darryl Holloway.
And from Byron Bergen, Clyde Bianchi.
And also from Byron Bergen, the sophomore, Clyde Bianchi, who last night
And now our
had
final
an outstanding
award.
game, and he had a good game tonight as well.
The 1984 Lions Club Tournament from Notre Dame, Jim Purcell.
And the MVP for this tournament from Notre Dame, the big 6'5", 225-pound center, Jim Purcell, who last night had 29 points. Not quite as many tonight, but still a good tournament for him.
The fans are a little disappointed in that somebody from Byron Bergen didn't win, but Jim Purcell had a fine tournament for Notre Dame.
One of the Perth brothers, there's the Bianchi brothers, all kinds of brothers on this team. And with me, winning coach Stan Sherwood. And Stan, an incredible game, fast-paced action up and down the floor.
Yes, it was. Why don't you ask these guys what they thought? I'm kind of speechless right now.
All right, with me on my right, Dennis Burke. Last night had a little trouble finding the basket, but kind of made up for that tonight.
Yeah, I was shooting better tonight. First night, I just couldn't get going. But tonight, I hit my first couple of shots and sort of relaxing me a little bit.
Now, you guys came out tonight, started off a little slow. Notre Dame came out. Bob Ray hit a few big shots from the corner early. But you guys held your ground, came back, got back into the game.
Yeah, coach called timeout and said, relax. We're going to, don't get all back at once. Just take your time. And we did. And we started to get a little more patient on offense. And we got back in the game.
But just an outstanding effort by the whole team. The defense swarmed all night long. Rick Tom wasn't allowed the freedom that he's used to having to hit Purcell with those passes, and you really shut him down on those passes tonight.
Ricky Tom is a great passer, but Sean Jessup started out on Purcell and really did a good job on him, and we tried to help out on him as much as possible.
All right, and with Dave Perro, it's the quarterback of this Byron Bergen club, Noel Garza.
No, what did Coach Stan Stewart have to say to you after you picked up your third personal so early?
He took me off Ricky Tom, and he told me, take it easy, settle down. We need you in there, and just take your time and play the way you can play.
You know what I think the change of the game was? Your defense is always excellent. Your floor leadership is superb. But after that third personal, when Coach Stan Shore did make that switch on Rick Tom, it gave, I'm trying to think of who guarded, Brian Burke was guarding Rick Tom, and it gave Brian Burke a little more freedom to play defense whereas if you were guarding him, you couldn't have guarded him as close because of your third personal. And I thought Byron Bergen did an excellent job.
Brian did a great job. He kept him, like all we wanted to do was contain him, and he kept him up to his side, and Ricky couldn't do anything.
Okay, Noel, very nice job. Great tournament.
Consecutive year, this Byron Bergen.
I think you hit it on the head when Dave said we played super defense. Our intent, as I told Dave before the game, we were going to go diamond and one and try to stop Purcell, and we stopped Purcell. We wanted to find out if the other guys were going to shoot, and boy, did they shoot. So called a timeout and told the guys it looked like that didn't work too well. We better go back to our bread and butter and play man-to-man. And we knew what we had to do was try to contain Rick. The kids respect Rick very much, and try as much as we could to help out inside. And I think it was the defensive end that told the story, and the Burt boys hit from outside for us tonight, and I think that was a big difference offensively.
Now with about 24 seconds left in the game, you were up by 2. John Bianchi tried to take it inside, tried to force a shot a little bit. When you saw John do this, what were your thoughts right at that moment?
Oops. No, John knew right away he made a mistake there, but I'll guarantee you in that same situation, John will learn from it and he won't do it again. And it didn't hurt us to learn it anyway. So he knew at that point we're supposed to go 4 corners in a game against the clock with 30 seconds left. And you know, that things happen. You know, guys that get paid a heck of a lot more than John Bianchi make the same mistake.
You know, Stan, I have a question for you. It seems like every game, so you're pulling somebody out of the woodwork to help you out, you know, to give you a scoring punch. Last night it was Clyde Bianchi. John Bianchi didn't have that good a scoring tonight. His all-around play was good. Tonight you pull out Dennis Burke and Brian Burke, and they give you a big lift. What can you say about that?
I think that's excellent team when you can do that. We talked about that about a week and a half ago, and I made mention to the people we didn't care who scored the points. You got to go with who you have, and I think I'd much rather have a team that can do that than have a team that, if they can, you can shut down 1 or 2 players in a game of basketball. So it has to be everyone, and tonight we just happened to be lucky enough to have those other ingredients that we needed.
You know what I looked at, though? Once Brian Burke, you saw he had the hot hand. You ran the overload to get him to back the ball against that zone, and you did give him the ball because you knew he did have the hot hand, and that, I think that's a tribute to yourself to show you that, you know, when the guy does have a hot hand, let's go to him, let's give him the ball. When he finally cools off, we'll go to somebody else.
That's been, with our young team, that's been one of our biggest problems up to date, is what we call game awareness. And you got to have that, and tonight they had excellent game awareness, and they had a good idea what we were trying to do throughout the game. And actually, I think we only had one slow area in the game where we kind of let down a little bit offensively, got a little bit in an area where we weren't sure what we wanted, and I'll take part of the blame for that. We went for 4 corners back to another offense, and I called a timeout, and I didn't know what I wanted, so it wasn't all their fault.
Ask the guy next to you, what do you want to do?
That's what my assistants are for.
Okay, joining me now is a sophomore from Byron Bergen, Clyde Bianchi, who was voted to the all-tournament team. Clyde, last night especially, you showed us you're not afraid to take the ball inside, came up with 24 points. Tonight, also going inside again. You don't show any fear of taking that ball inside against the bigger guys, especially like tonight against Purcell.
Well, I just feel like playing aggressive when we're down, and that's the only way I know how, to take it right to them. So.
And the whole Byron Bergen team, the defense, just swarming all over the floor, and I think that really was the difference in the game, is you really held Notre Dame's offense in check and didn't really allow them to do what they wanted to do.
He started off hitting a lot of shots from the floor. They're shooting a high percentage.
All right, Clyde, thanks for joining us. And the final score from the Genesee Community College gym, Byron Bergen has the